Howdy folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a little game called Goblin Vaults. Goblin Vaults is a little card game set in the role-player universe. It's called a role-player tale. So this is a universe sort of that Thunderworks has sort of made up. It's, well, very similar to Dungeons & Dragons. You got goblins and orcs and such. It's made popular in a role-player game in which you would make, the whole game was about rolling up a D&D character, essentially. And they had other games in this universe, a roll and write game, an adventure game, yada yada. Well, this is, I think, a card game that's played in this universe here, Goblin Vaults. And this is half trick-taking, half auction. I'll show you. This game comes with a bunch of suits in the deck, and there are 6 different suits, although you don't use all of them unless you're playing with 5 players. If you're playing with 4 players, you'll just use 5 of the suits. And if you're playing with 2 to 3 players, you use 4 of the suits. You'll notice they have numbers 1 through 10 with different symbols to help differentiate the colors. They also have a symbol at the top. This does not match the color. This is going to match the player faction colors. You're going to pick a player. You notice each player has a player faction color, which comes along with a symbol. So you'll get one of those. Players are going to be trying to get these cards to build a tableau in front of them. At the end of the game, they're going to score points from the cards that are in that tableau. And as they build this tableau, you'll notice there's these symbols in the corner of the card. So if this one here is in tier 3, the 3rd row, then it's going to score you 3 points. If this card is in the 2nd row, it's going to give you 2 points. You'll also get 2 points for every icon that matches your faction card. And then you're going to get points at the end of the game based on these goal cards. There are 6 goal cards, and you're just going to basically put them out, and you can put them on either side. I think there's actually 7 goal cards. Everything's going to be revolving around these 4 cards in the middle, which are randomly placed out. This card here is the Warden card, and whatever suit the Warden card is going to be the strongest suit in the game. So on a player's turn, they're going to place a card from their hand as a bid underneath a card. So right now, I'm winning this card because I played an 8 lantern. Now, if someone played a 9 or a 10 lantern there, they would be winning. Or if they played any green card, because that's the Warden's card, they would be winning. Now, when it's your turn, you can place a card under any cards you won here. And like I said, you can place a bid that's higher than someone who's already put one there. If you want to place a lower bid than someone placed there, you're allowed to do that, but you need to spend a gear. You're going to put a gear on that card. If you don't have a gear to put on the card, you can't do that. As players place their card out there, you're going to place your marker on it so everyone knows who played what card. Once everything is done, if there's only one card underneath something, then you win that card. Otherwise, it's the person who played the highest card of the first card played or the highest of the Warden card out there. If no one bids on a card, you're going to put a token on that, a gear token that someone get next turn. So in this case, this is the highest one, the 3, because it's the same thing as the Warden. So this person, the purple player, is going to win the bid. They're going to take this card and place it in their tableau. The card that they did have goes here. And the green player, since they didn't win, they're going to take the card they played and put that in their tableau. Over here, the played card was this skull, so blue played the highest skull. So blue will take this card, and red and yellow are both going to take these cards. Also, blue is the highest player, so they're going to get this gear card that the yellow player had to play for underbidding. So that's how each of the 9 rounds in the game will go. Players in turn order are going to be placing cards underneath these 3 cards here. If they play a card that has the same symbol as the Warden card, they will also get an optional either move or draw action, where they can discard a card from their hand underneath the deck to draw a new card, or they can move a card from one position in their vault to another position in their vault. After everyone has taken these cards, the current first player is allowed to switch the Warden card with one of the 3 cards in play, and you go to the next round. After 9 rounds, you'll score each player's vault. So here's an example of a vault a player has built in front of them. As you place a card there, that's the first card, then the second card goes on top of that, the third. You can have 4 columns of cards with up to 3 cards, but you're going to be playing out 9 cards, so this might be how an ending of this looks. So I already explained how to get points. You'll get points like this one here is in the second position, so it's going to score points. It's actually the only one that's really in the correct position. But let's say, for example, that I was playing as this hammer guy. I'm also going to get 2 points for that. And then these goals, like this Ancient Volumes, for example, says score each tier in which the leftmost and rightmost cards are book cards. So I have one tier. The final tier has that on it. So I'm going to get 6 points. I would have got 24 if I had done all 3 tiers on it. This one here says score each tier in which the lowest value is a skull card. Well, unfortunately, that card is not a skull card. And so that's basically what you're doing. Once you're done with that, everyone's going to add up their points. You'll put them on the little score sheet here, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. So this game is a game of careful card play. You're not playing a lot of cards over the course of the game. If you think about it, you're getting 10 cards. That's your game. Now, yes, if you match the warden symbol, you can discard a card, and you're going to want to do that because it has a kind of the underlying premise here is I want to play a card to win that card that's there because that card that's there, I want to put into my tableau in front of me. Or I want to put out a card and not win so that the card I played is the card I put in my tableau. There's not much more beyond that. Now, I said at the beginning, this has some trick-taking elements because it feels like it in a sense. There's a trump suit, a suit that's better than all the rest, the warden suit. When you play a card out there, the highest card of the first card played is the winner. That's exactly how trick-taking games work. But it doesn't feel much like a trick-taking game other than that. It's more of a carefully conceived auction game. Now, despite me saying it's a carefully conceived auction game, there's not a particularly huge amount of agency in many ways. Yes, you're stuck with those cards at the beginning. You can try, like a card might say, hey, get a lot of coins out there. Well, if I don't see a lot of coin cards show up, there's not a lot I can do about scoring that thing. I might want to try to score the cards in the position they are. I want to win cards that match my symbol. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of playing a little bit with what I have tactically. The gear tokens, which let you bid under, are interesting. They can also be worth points at the end of the game. I don't mind them. The game has a rule that if you need to underbid and you've already used all your gears, then you take a card and play it face down your tableau, which is pretty terrible. But I haven't seen that happen or even really come close to happening. This is a game I think that's going to appeal to some folks. I don't think it's going to appeal to everyone because I'm not sure exactly who the target audience is. I want to say I enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of fun things in here. I like the multiple ways of scoring. When you score, you can score points for getting cards in positions, or you might put all your energy into scoring those end game goals, or what have you. But it's pretty easy. You're playing a card and possibly taking a warden in action, which isn't going to happen all the time because you have to be able to match that card that's out there. And then when you take the card, you can put it in one of 4 spots, essentially. So because you're going to put it in the top spot of any column where it can go to. So there's not a lot of choice in this game. You're making 9 to 14 choices. It's a small little game. In fact, the box itself is a little deceiving because this is what comes in the game along with some of those clock tokens. That's not much at all. It's a smallish little game that I think is going to attract people because it's fun. I don't know how intuitive it is, especially to people who don't play a lot of games. I think they might be thrown off by this because if you're a trick-taking expert, this isn't going to appeal to you necessarily. It might, but not necessarily. And if you're somebody who likes auction games, this might feel a little slow for your taste because no one might even argue with you. You might put a card there and that's it. You won. You're like, I put a 1 there. I thought someone was going to fight me over it. It also has a very different feel, I think, from playing 3 to 5. Because with 5, those cards in the middle, the auction matters more. With 3, sometimes there's no one fighting over the cards, and you're all getting exactly what you want. But with 5, there's more cards being played out there. You're trying to figure out which card, who you might want to beat. So I think this is one of the fewer games that is better with more players. So again, I don't think 3 is bad. I just think more is better. I like the artwork. I always make fun of this universe in the sense of, it's a D&D-esque universe, but it's good. And I really like the art on these cards. It's just nice little, kind of a rustic map type looking art. The symbols are easy to tell apart. The card quality is good. So this is a solid little game, Goblin Vaults. Check it out. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.